Among the infinite pantheon of Christmas films, there exists a tale that has transcended time, leaping from the quills of Charles Dickens into the hearts of generations. The immortal A Christmas Carol. As snowflakes fall and festive lights twinkle, the resounding echoes of Scrooge's redemption continue to weave their magic, captivating audiences anew with each passing year. Join me on a cinematic journey through the ages as we unwrap the enduring legacy of A Christmas Carol. In this episode of WN Movie Talk, we will traverse the cobblestone streets of Victorian London and venture into the heart of modern adaptations, exploring the tapestry of emotions, innovations and cultural influences that have shaped the myriad faces of this beloved story. From Alistair Sim's iconic portrayal to the whimsical charms of the Muppets, from the satirical reflections of 80s commercialism with Bill Murray's Scrooged, to the innovative spectacles of 3D animation by Robert Zemeckis, we'll unravel the threads that bind these adaptations, each a unique ornament on the Christmas tree of storytelling. Prepare to witness how these adaptations have evolved to mirror the changing tides of society, and together we'll discover why A Christmas Carol isn't merely a story, it's an evergreen narrative that continues to shape the spirit of the season and a common social commentary of the times. So, grab a cup of cocoa, cosy up by the fireplace, and let's unwrap the enchanting layers of Dickens' masterpiece as we embark on a cinematic exploration that transcends time and kindles the eternal flame of A Christmas Carol. Hi everyone, welcome to another episode of WN Movie Talk podcast. Now, I have been excited about this. I love Christmas. I absolutely love Christmas, and I love Christmas films, but one of my favourites is always A Christmas Carol. There's so many versions of it, and each year I'll watch one or two different versions. I usually listen to the audio book as well, to hear Dickens' own words. So I thought for this episode, well, it wasn't really an episode. I was going to do a video on it on YouTube, but I'm not going to have time to edit it. So I've actually been working on this for a while, and I've written a bit of an essay all about it. So it's a bit of a study, and I've really enjoyed doing this. So I've sort of looked back across history and reflecting on the Christmas Carol and the different versions and what they do, and yeah, I said it all in that amazing write-up. Did you like that? I wrote that as well. You can tell because it sounds like a lot more wordy than me just mumbling and stumbling my way through it. So this is slightly different. I'm trying to think of ways to make the podcast a bit more interesting now that I'm doing it on my own. So that's what I'm doing here. So anyway, there is a few, just a few versions of A Christmas Carol. And I've asked you guys what your favourite versions are. So I will have a look through those comments in a moment. But I will just mention that the Guy Pearce production from, was it FX? Did they make it? You won't find that in here. That was on a few years ago. I watched the first half of that and I absolutely hated it. And I didn't even bother to watch the second part. It was a two-parter, wasn't it? Really dark. They've made it really horrible. They've made Scrooge absolutely unredeemable, you know. And I just thought, well, there's no coming back from this. I don't care. I didn't care for the characters. I think even like the Cratchits were made out to be absolute monsters. It was just a horrible piece of... just didn't enjoy it. It ruined A Christmas Carol for me. But it didn't, because there's so many other versions. So anyway, let's have a look at your answers anyway. So I asked you what's your favourite versions of A Christmas Carol, and this is what you said. Rob Jones come over and said, it's only the Muppets. I could write you another essay, but it's perfect. Even the songs are great. Rob Jones, of course, sent us in it's a terrific letter. We did give him a bit of a ribbing, but it was a really great letter when we reviewed his recommendation, which was Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid. It got us through the episode in some sort of cohesive order for a change. So that's his answer, just the Muppets. Nathan Kent, is literally, his comment was Muppets. So 2 over on Facebook for the Muppets. We didn't get a massive response on there, to be honest, or over on YouTube. but we did get a few answers. Mr. Biggs said the 1970 musical version of Scrooge starring Albert Finney is the favourite in my family. And the least favourite, he's put Muppets. Sorry, not sorry. Which is fair enough. I love the Muppets version. I love both versions. I'd done a review of A Christmas Carol, for the Scrooge, sorry, not A Christmas Carol, a couple of years back for the films that I own that I haven't watched yet. I thought it was a great version as well. Yeah. And Tim Walker has put the original to me, the black and white 50s version. It really cuts the frost both dramatically and atmospherically. But a close second is the Muppets. All the best. We used to get quite a bit of feedback. I think it's because I haven't done a lot on social media, so we don't get quite a lot of feedback at the moment. So I'm trying to build stuff up. So if you are out there, please pop on over and have a look through our channel, our pages and what have you. But I thought Scrooged might come in quite high. And I thought people might not like the Robert Zemeckis version, but Scrooged is a great version of A Christmas Carol. And but yeah, the Muppets seems to be a favourite. We went to the cinema with my family and a friend and his family last year to watch the Muppets. A Christmas treat. Really enjoyed it. But to be honest, the kids won't watch the Muppets at home. They hate the Muppets, which is a shame because I like it. I remember when it came out, I got it for Christmas actually. On video for Christmas. I probably watched it about 17 times. I was probably like 25 at the time as well, I think. So, just a few comments there. Thank you everyone who did comment. You know, good to hear from you. Anyway, so now I'm going to get on with this. So, again, I'm going to be reading this. This is my little bit of a pet project here. I've really enjoyed it. So, this is the journey through the cinematic adaptations of A Christmas Carol. The creation of A Christmas Carol is intricately tied to the life and times of Charles Dickens in the early 19th century. Dickens wrote the novella in 1843 during a period of significant social and economic transformation in Victoria, England. The Industrial Revolution was in full swing, bringing about rapid urbanisation and technological advancements. However, this era also witnessed stark social inequalities, harsh working conditions and the exploitation of the poor, which profoundly impacted Dickens' worldview and subsequently the narrative of A Christmas Carol. In the 2017 biographical drama, The Man Who Invented Christmas, the movie explores Dickens' own journey and the creative process behind his iconic novella. The film draws inspiration from the book of the same name by Les Standiford, and it cleverly intertwines historical facts about Dickens' life with imaginative elements blurring the lines between reality and fiction. The movie stars Dan Stevens as Charles Dickens, chronicling his struggles and inspirations during the writing of A Christmas Carol. The narrative provides insights into Dickens' life, career and societal issues that influenced him. It captures the essence of Dickens' imagination and creativity, showcasing how he drew from personal experiences and observations to create characters and stories that resonate with universal themes. One of the central elements of The Man Who Invented Christmas is the portrayal of Dickens' interactions with the characters that he creates, particularly the miserly Ebenezer Scrooge, played by Christopher Plummer. These interactions serve not only as a way of determining how he creates and grows his characters, but also as a reflection of Dickens' own internal struggles and personal growth. The Man Who Invented Christmas also cleverly weaves the themes from A Christmas Carol into its own narrative, creating a meta-story that reflects the timeless nature of Dickens' work. The film explores themes of redemption, generosity, and the transformative power of the holiday season, mirroring the messages conveyed in the classic novella. Dickens faced financial difficulties and was under pressure to produce a successful book to revive his career. A Christmas Carol emerged as a response to these challenges, embodying Dickens' desire to convey a powerful moral message while entertaining a broad audience. The Man Who Invented Christmas effectively captures the tension and excitement of Dickens' race against time to complete the novella in time for the optimum Christmas release. Ever a keen observer of his society, Dickens used the character of Ebenezer Scrooge to symbolise the callousness and greed prevalent among the wealthy elite of his time. Scrooge's disdain for the poor and his obsession with accumulating wealth mirror the growing divide between the rich and poor during the Industrial Age. A Christmas Carol, often celebrated as a heartwarming tale of redemption, also holds a significant place in the genre of ghost stories. Dickens masterfully weaves elements of the supernatural into the narrative, using ghosts as powerful vehicles to convey moral lessons and prompt self-reflection. In Victorian Britain, Christmas traditions were undergoing a revival, and ghost stories held a prominent place in holiday festivities. The long winter nights provided an ideal backdrop for gatherings around the fireplace, where tales of the supernatural were shared to evoke both a sense of fear and communal warmth. The fascination with ghost stories during the Christmas season was also influenced by a broader cultural interest in the supernatural. The era saw a surge in interest in spiritualism and a revival of Gothic literature, with writers like Dickens contributing to the popularity of the ghost story genre. Dickens, drawing inspiration from these traditions, crafted a narrative that seamlessly merged the eerie and the heartening, offering a ghostly reflection on the true meaning of Christmas. A Christmas Carol stands as a testament to Dickens' ability to blend the spooky with the sentimental, creating a timeless narrative that resonates with readers as both a chilling ghost story and a poignant reflection of the spirit of Christmas. The ghosts of Christmas past, present and yet to come, along with the haunting appearance of Jacob Marley's ghost, serve as a catalyst for Ebenezer Scrooge's transformation, forcing him to confront the consequences of his action and the potential bleak future that awaits him, offering Dickens a powerful platform to critique social injustices and advocate for compassion and social reform. A Christmas Carol proved to be an immediate success upon its initial release on December 19th, 1843. 6,000 copies of the first edition were printed, and all had sold out by Christmas Eve, marking the beginning of a literary phenomenon. However, despite the initial sales, Dickens didn't make huge profits, as he had set out to create the book as a keepsake, producing a book adorned with fanciful cover and gold lettering. The author's dedication to perfection led him to reprint the novella when the initial design fell short of its expectations. Again, this is all portrayed in The Man Who Invented Christmas. Despite the losses, the novella's popularity surged, capturing the imagination of readers and exceeding Dickens' expectations. In subsequent years, the book underwent numerous reprints, attesting to its enduring appeal. The frequency of publication, coupled with steadily rising sales figures, demonstrated the sustained demand for this heartwarming tale. In the wake of A Christmas Carol's triumph, Dickens tried to replicate its success with other Christmas-themed ghost stories, but despite his efforts, none achieved the same cultural impact, leaving A Christmas Carol as an unparalleled gem in Dickens' repertoire. The legacy of this timeless tale extends beyond its initial release, continuing to enchant readers and reaffirming its status as a classic in the realm of Christmas literature. At the turn of the 20th century, and with the emerging medium of cinema, filmmakers were quick to recognise the novel's popularity and its potential for adaptation. The very first cinematic adaptation of Charles Dickens' A Christmas Carol was a short film entitled Scrooge, or Marley's Ghost. This silent film, released in 1901, was directed by Walter R. Booth and produced by Robert W. Paul. Booth used innovative techniques for the time, such as double exposure, to create the ghostly apparitions in the film. This groundbreaking adaptation marked the beginning of a tradition, bringing Dickens' timeless tale to the silver screen. Scrooge or Marley's Ghost set the stage for future cinematic adaptations of Christmas Carol, demonstrating the enduring appeal of Dickens' narrative across various mediums. Over the years, filmmakers continued to revisit and reinterpret the classic story, utilising evolving technologies to bring new dimensions to the tale of Ebenezer Scrooge and his transformative Christmas Eve. The 1935 film adaptation of A Christmas Carol, starring Seymour Hicks as Scrooge, is one of the earlier cinematic renditions of Charles Dickens' timeless tale. Directed by Henry Edwards, this black and white film is known for its faithful adaptation to the source material, capturing the essence of the novella while navigating the challenges of early sound cinema. Seymour Hicks was no stranger to the role of Scrooge, having played the character in various stage productions before reprising the role for his film adaptation. His performance is notable for its theatricality, reflecting the era's influence when many actors transitioning from stage to screen brought a certain stylised approach to their roles. While not as universally celebrated as later adaptations, the 1935 version holds historical significance as one of the early cinematic interpretations of A Christmas Carol. It paved the way for subsequent adaptations and contributed to the enduring popularity of Dickens' story on both stage and screen. The Alistair Sim version of A Christmas Carol, released in 1951, is widely regarded as one of the definitive adaptations of Dickens' classic tale. Directed by Brian Desmond Hurst, the film not only brought the timeless story to a new audience, but also left a lasting impact on the portrayal of Ebenezer Scrooge and the cinematic releases that followed. Alistair Sim's performance as Scrooge is hailed as one of the most nuanced and memorable portrayals of the character. Sim brings a remarkable depth to Scrooge, capturing both the miserly bitterness and the profound transformation as he confronts his past, present and future. His portrayal is marked by a blend of vulnerability, humour and poignancy that makes Scrooge a more relatable and complex figure. A notable aspect of the Alistair Sim version was the careful development of supporting characters, particularly Bob Cratchit and Tiny Tim. The film takes the time to establish the Cratchit family dynamics, emphasising the impact of Scrooge's transformation on the lives of those around him. This contributes to the emotional resonance of the narrative. The film features a strong supporting cast, including Michael Holdern as Jacob Marley and Mervyn Johns as Bob Cratchit. These actors contribute to the overall quality of the production, enhancing the storytelling and creating a well-rounded ensemble. This 1951 adaptation also reflects the post-war society of the 1950s. Released in the aftermath of World War II, the film speaks to the themes of redemption, rebuilding, and the importance of compassion in a recovering society. Scrooge's journey from isolation to connection resonated with audiences grappling with the collective trauma of the war and the need for empathy in rebuilding communities. This version is considered a turning point in the cinematic evolution of A Christmas Carol. It set a high standard for fidelity to Dickens' original text and elevated the quality of storytelling in subsequent adaptations. Sim's performance in particular became a benchmark for future actors taking on the role of Scrooge. In fact, the depiction of Jim Carrey's Scrooge in Robert Zemeckis' 2009 motion-captured animated version also lends heavily from Sim's own portrayal. He would return to the role of Scrooge in 1971 when he voiced the character once again for an animation. Scrooge, from 1970, arrived at a time when musical adaptations of classic literature were gaining popularity, following the success of films like Oliver. Albert Finney's portrayal of Ebenezer Scrooge earned him critical acclaim and even a Golden Globe for Best Actor. Finney brought a combination of pathos and humanity to the character, capturing the transformation from a cold and miserly old man to a joyful and compassionate individual. The music, songs and lyrics for Scrooge were composed by Leslie Bricusse and earned him an Academy Award nomination. The musical numbers added a dynamic and emotional dimension to the storytelling, with standout songs like Thank You Very Much and I Like Life. The musical elements helped inject energy and a sense of spectacle into the familiar narrative. The film boasts a strong supporting cast, including Edith Evans as the Ghost of Christmas Past, Kenneth Moore as the Ghost of Christmas Present, and Alec Guinness as Jacob Marley. Each actor contributed to the ensemble, creating a memorable and engaging portrayal of Dickens' characters. The film aligns with a broader trend of bringing classic stories to new audiences through the medium of musical theatre. Its release in the early 70s also coincided with a period of cultural and social change, making it relevant to audiences seeking both entertainment and reflecting on timeless themes. Over the years, Scrooge has maintained its status as a beloved holiday classic. The film's legacy lies not only in its successful adaptation of a familiar story, but also in its contribution to the tradition of Christmas musicals. Its enduring popularity ensures that it remains a staple of festive viewing, appreciated for its entertainment value and cultural significance. And this was, incidentally, also the very first edition of Scrooge that I ever saw. Way back when I was only a child. The TV film adaptation of A Christmas Carol, starring George C. Scott, was first broadcast in 1984 and is often hailed as a powerful and faithful interpretation of Charles Dickens' classic tale. Directed by Clive Donner, this adaptation stands out for its strong performances, atmospheric production design and its commitment to capturing the essence of Dickens' original work. George C. Scott delivers a compelling and memorable performance as Ebenezer Scrooge. His portrayal is notable for its intensity and gravitas, capturing both the miserly aspects of the character as well as his transformative journey towards redemption. The film excels in creating a visually immersive and authentic portrayal of Victoria London. The production design and the attention to detail contributes to the atmospheric and period-specific feel of the adaptation. The chemistry amongst the cast members enhance the storytelling and emotional impact of the narrative, such as David Warner as Bob Cratchit, Susanna York as Mrs. Cratchit, and Edward Woodward as the Ghost of Christmas Present. But the heavier focus in this adaptation is between Scrooge and his nephew Fred, and really adds a poignant layer to the narrative. With the rare inclusion of a scene between the young Scrooge, his doting sister and their stern father, the strained familial connection between Scrooge and Fred is further highlighted and emphasises the personal and emotional consequences of Scrooge's choices. This adaptation masterfully utilises the relationship between Scrooge and Fred to drive home the central theme of the story, the transformative power of compassion and the rediscovery of the true spirit of Christmas. The resolution of this relationship serves as a heartwarming and resonant moment, leaving a lasting impact on the audience and contributing to the enduring popularity of this particular adaptation. The story of Ebenezer Scrooge and A Christmas Carol has also been adapted for children in various forms over the years. Mickey's Christmas Carol, 1983, an animated short, features Disney characters in Dickensian roles. Scrooge McDuck as Ebenezer Scrooge. It condenses the story into a shorter format while maintaining the key themes of redemption and holiday spirit. Characters like Mickey Mouse and Goofy take on the roles of Bob Cratchit and Jacob Marley, making it a delightful and accessible introduction to the classic tale for younger viewers. But it's The Muppets Christmas Carol that has become a firm family favourite. The Muppets adaptation of A Christmas Carol is a beloved classic that combines humour, heart and musical numbers. Michael Caine plays Scrooge, surrounded by Muppet characters portraying the other roles. Led by Gonzo as Dickens himself, who guides us and Rizzo the Rat through the story. Kermit the Frog takes on the role of Bob Cratchit, Miss Piggy as Mrs. Cratchit, and Kermit's nephew Robin plays Tiny Tim. Fozzie Bear is the obvious choice for the jovial Fuzziwig, and the cantankerous pairing of the professional hecklers, Statler and Waldorf, play twin ghosts Jacob and Robert Marley. The film maintains the core narrative whilst infusing it with Muppets' trademark anarchic charm and some really catchy and memorable songs. Michael Caine's portrayal of Scrooge is notable for its sincerity and commitment, and a role that many consider one of his best, myself included. Despite acting alongside Muppet characters, Caine delivers a convincing and earnest performance, always straight-faced in the presence of such ludicrous occurrences around him. His interactions with the Muppets feel genuine, allowing the audience to connect emotionally with the character. The Muppets Christmas Carol was released in 1992, a time when the Muppets were already established as beloved characters in popular culture. The film taps into the timeless nature of the Dickens story whilst infusing it with contemporary humour and the Muppets' irreverent spirit. The 90s also marked a period of nostalgia for the Muppets, and this film contributed to their enduring legacy as well. The film's success can be attributed to its ability to balance the traditional elements of A Christmas Carol with the Muppets' signature wit and charm. The musical numbers, including It Feels Like Christmas and Scrooge, enhance the emotional resonance of the story. The film's enduring popularity can be seen in its annual screenings during the holiday season, and its status as a cherished family favourite. In the 2009 adaptation of A Christmas Carol, director Robert Zemeckis recreates the classic tale with an ensemble cast including the likes of Jim Carrey as Ebenezer Scrooge and the ghosts of Christmas past, present and yet to come, and Gary Oldman as Cratchit, Marley and Tiny Tim, Colin Firth as Fred, Robin Wright as Belle, and Bob Hoskins as Fuzziwig. This adaptation is notable for its use of motion capture technology, a technique that captures the movements of live actors and translates them into animated characters. This is a divisive technique that many critics and fans of the classic are opposed to. Personally, however, this remains one of my favourite cinematic experiences ever. The film employs a visually stunning 3D animation style, bringing Dickens' Victorian London to life in a way that's both faithful to the source material and visually innovative. The use of motion capture technology allows for visually stunning and immersive scenes. The depiction of the supernatural elements, especially the ghosts, is both captivating and eerie, and the 3D animation brings a level of spectacle to the storytelling, enhancing the immersive experience for the audience. And the standout moments for me in the cinema watching in 3D were the opening scenes as the camera flies over the rooftops of London and the journey alongside the Ghost of Christmas Present. Both scenes literally giving the sense of flight when viewed in 3D and at a cinema. Jim Carrey's performance, as I mentioned, heavily echoes that of Sims, but also adds a layer of physicality and expressiveness to the character of Scrooge that resonates with younger audiences. Carrey, known for his comedic roles, demonstrates a surprising depth in portraying Scrooge's journey from miserliness to redemption. His ability to convey both the humour and the pathos of the character adds a unique dimension to this adaptation. Gary Oldman showcases his versatility by taking on multiple roles, including Bob Cratchit, Marley and Tiny Tim. Each character is distinct, and Oldman's vocal talents contribute significantly to the emotional impact of the narrative. His portrayal of Bob Cratchit is particularly poignant, emphasising the struggles of the working class in Victorian England. While there are creative liberties taken with certain scenes, mainly to enhance the 3D experience and add excitement for the younger viewers, Zemeckis' adaptation remains relatively faithful to Dickens' original text, capturing the essence of the novella and preserving many key moments. Very often the character archetype of Ebenezer Scrooge manifests himself in other Christmas movies too. In Elf, 2003, Walter Hobbs, played by James Caan, initially mirrors the Scrooge archetype. As Buddy the Elf's real father, Walter is preoccupied with work and dismissive of the Christmas spirit. His transformation throughout the film represents a modern take on Scrooge's redemption, emphasising the importance of family bonds and rediscovering the joy of the holiday season. In the 1986 movie A Christmas Star, a thief, played by Edward Astor, escapes from prison and hides in the basement of an apartment block, where the child residents mistake him for Father Christmas. Similar in theme to the classic Hayley Mills movie Whistle Down the Wind, the film's criminal on the run is not the only character who feels the benefit of a Scrooge-esque redemption arc. The apartment block's miserly landlord also has a role to play. By featuring both a criminal and a stingy landlord, the narrative underscores societal issues and the need for compassion. The film suggests that redemption is not limited to a single individual and that positive change can have a ripple effect in a community. Ron Howard's How the Grinch Stole Christmas sees Dr. Seuss's classic tale adapted into a live-action film, again starring Jim Carrey as the Grinch. The Grinch is a character who bears similarities to Scrooge. He despises the Whos of Whoville, tries to steal Christmas to stop their joyful celebrations. However, as the story progresses, the Grinch experiences a change of heart and learns the true meaning of Christmas. This transformation aligns with the theme of redemption seen in A Christmas Carol and shows that even in popular literature, the resonance and impressions of Dickens' work can be clearly seen. Before he made his own Christmas Carol, director Robert Zemeckis brought us the 3D motion capture animation The Polar Express in 2004. While not featuring a Scrooge-like character, The Polar Express does explore the theme of belief and rediscovering the joy of Christmas. The central character, a young boy, is sceptical about the existence of Santa Claus, and through a magical train journey to the North Pole, he undergoes a transformation much like Scrooge, as he learns to embrace the spirit of Christmas and the importance of belief. Bad Santa, 2003, takes a darker and comedic twist on the genre, as Willie Stokes, played by Billy Bob Thornton, a con man who poses as a department store Santa, plans to rob the place on Christmas Eve. While not undergoing a traditional redemption arc, Willie experiences moments of connection and genuine emotion, leading to a complex and unconventional exploration of a character who shares some of the same traits with Scrooge. And in John Hughes' Yuletide favourite Home Alone, that whilst there's not a direct Scrooge-like character, the initial neglectful and detached family learns the importance of togetherness and cherishing family bonds during the Christmas season. The film emphasises the theme of reconciliation and the true spirit of Christmas, echoing the transformative elements often seen in Scrooge narratives. And whilst not a direct adaptation of A Christmas Carol, Frank Capra's It's a Wonderful Life subverts the Scrooge archetype through Mr. Potter, a wealthy and heartless banker. Unlike Scrooge, Potter does not undergo a transformation, however his character serves as contrast to the selfless George Bailey, played by James Stewart. It's a Wonderful Life indeed offers a unique twist on the traditional Scrooge narrative. Instead of a miserly character finding redemption, George Bailey experiences a crisis that challenges his perception of self-worth. The intervention of the angel Clarence showcases how kindness and selflessness can have a profound impact on individuals and their communities, emphasising the idea that the holiday spirit extends beyond personal transformation to community betterment. The film explores the impact one individual can have on a community and emphasises the importance of kindness and generosity. Joe Dante's Christmas horror classic, Gremlins 1984, is an obvious reflection of Capra's film, with Bedford Falls becoming Kingston Falls. And as with Potter in It's a Wonderful Life, Mrs. Deagle in Gremlins embodies the cruel and heartless characteristics of Scrooge. As a wealthy and heartless woman, she is more concerned with profit than the well-being of others. And while she doesn't experience redemption, she faces consequences for her actions when the mischievous gremlins wreak havoc. Her storyline highlights the idea that unchecked greed and cruelty ultimately lead to negative outcomes. Many modern adaptations of Charles Dickens' A Christmas Carol often serve as a lens through which filmmakers explore and comment on the social issues of their own times. The timeless nature of the original story allows for creative reinterpretations that resonate with contemporary audiences. Here are a few examples of how specific movies reflect social commentary. Director Richard Donner brought us one of the best modern adaptations with his comedy Scrooged, a vehicle for Bill Murray. Set in the 80s, Scrooge updates the story to critique corporate greed and the dehumanising effect of modern consumerism, while satirising the media industry and its role in shaping societal values, emphasising the need for genuine human connection. Bill Murray plays Frank Cross, a cynical and heartless television executive who undergoes a Scrooge-like transformation. Frank is a character designed for Murray, with his usual self-absorbed cynicism shining through, as it has in many of his other standout performances. Bill Murray's portrayal of Frank Cross is a standout element of the film. Known for his comedic prowess, Murray infuses the character with a perfect blend of sarcasm and vulnerability. Frank Cross, a modern-day Scrooge, is the epitome of corporate greed and indifference to the holiday spirit. Scrooged is set in the cutthroat world of television broadcasting, providing a biting social commentary on the commercialisation of Christmas and the relentless pursuit of ratings and profits. The film satirises the media landscape of the 1980s, showcasing the excess of the industry and the dehumanising impact of corporate culture. In a creative departure from the traditional ghost, Scrooged introduces a unique and unconventional spectral guise. The ghost of Christmas past is portrayed as a taxi driver, David Johansen. The ghost of Christmas present is a violent fairy, Carol Kane, and only the ghost of Christmas present is similar to its original character as a mute and eerie figure. These characters bring a dark and humorous edge to the supernatural elements of the story. Scrooged blends dark comedy, satire and heartfelt moments to deliver a unique and contemporary interpretation of the classic story, and the incorporation of a live television production of A Christmas Carol within the film allowed for a self-aware and meta-commentary on the nature of storytelling, and it gave a great scene of redemption for Murray's character. The film features a strong supporting cast, including Karen Allen as the love interest Claire Phillips, who, in this Hollywood ending, winds up with Frank, as opposed to the love of his life Belle, who, in the novel, he's lost forever. Bobcat Goldthwait as Elliot Loudermilk and Alfre Woodard as Grace Cooley. Although not a couple, they both share the role of the Cratchits. Elliot is an employee who, under Frank, is heartlessly dismissed, and Grace plays Frank's Lentabom PA, whose own story introduces the Tiny Tim character in her own mute son. The interactions between these characters contribute to the film's emotional depth and the exploration of redemption and human connection. Scrooge stands out as a bold and inventive adaptation of A Christmas Carol. Bill Murray's charismatic performance, the film's modern setting and its satirical take on corporate culture make it a memorable and enduring addition to the roster of Scrooge-inspired adaptations. The film's ability to balance humour, social commentary and heartfelt moments has solidified its place as a holiday classic with a distinct and irreverent charm. Bringing the tale more up to date, A film playing at the moment on Freevee and Amazon Prime, A Christmas Carol, plays on the original title, immediately invoking the association with the modern stereotype of a Karen, a term used to describe entitled, opinionating and demanding female individuals. It's no coincidence also that the first redeemed soul we meet in the 2022 movie Spirited is also named Karen. Spirited, a modern musical adaptation of the classic Dickensian tale, stars Will Ferrell and Ryan Reynolds and takes a contemporary and satirical approach by exploring the theme of redemption in the context of cancel culture, of touch of the button, consumerism and the impact of social media on society. The film cleverly uses humour and satire to address contemporary issues while maintaining the essence of Dickens' timeless narrative. Ryan Reynolds portrays a Scrooge-like character, and the narrative unfolds within the framework of a business where the ghosts of Christmas past, present and future work under Jacob Marley to save a new soul each year from the perils of their own selfish endeavours. This setup introduces a corporate and contemporary twist to the traditional ghostly intervention in Scrooge's life. Reynolds' character, considered unredeemable in the era of council culture, embodies toxic and improper ethics that reflect the flaws of today's society. His charismatic persona, typical of Reynolds' on-screen presence, adds layers to the character, making the audience both repelled and intrigued by his antics. A significant departure from the traditional Scrooge narrative is the reversal of roles between Reynolds' character and the Ghost of Christmas Present, played by Will Ferrell. In a clever narrative twist, the Scrooge figure turns the tables on the ghost, forcing him to reflect on his own shortcomings. This subversion challenges the notion of who is truly in need of redemption and prompts the viewers to question societal norms and expectations. The film's exploration of social media dynamics and internet trolling adds a relevant layer to the story by depicting the swift and often thoughtless actions of individuals on social media. Spirited captures the essence of the modern age, the ease with which online interactions can escalate into a storm, and the hasty responses of internet trolls without consideration of consequences mirror the fast-paced and often impulsive nature of contemporary online discourse. Through this lens, Spirited serves as both a commentary on the individual's capacity for change and redemption and a reflection of the broader cultural landscape. It highlights the societal challenges and pitfalls of the digital age, encouraging audiences to reflect on the consequences of their action and the potential growth and redemption even in the face of cancel culture. In fact, the Tiny Tim in this version is not a sick child deprived of the financial support to see his health improve, but a charitable child who is the centre of a smear campaign which sees him take his own life. So, as we conclude our cinematic exploration of the timeless narrative that is A Christmas Carol, the echoes of Scrooge's redemption continue to resonate across the ages. From the cobblestone streets of Victorian London to the vibrant landscapes of modern adaptations, Dickens' masterpiece has proven itself to be a narrative evergreen in its ability to captivate hearts and minds. Each adaptation that we've unwrapped in this journey, from Alistair Sim's iconic portrayal to the Muppets' whimsical charm, has left its unique imprint on the Christmas tree of storytelling. The performances of actors like Albert Finney, George C. Scott, Michael Caine and Alistair Sim have enriched the tapestry of Scrooge's character, showcasing the nuance and depth that this classic narrative affords. From silent films to musical extravaganzas, from faithful period pieces to irreverent comedies, the story of Ebenezer Scrooge has transcended the boundaries of time and media. It has not only entertained but has also served as a mirror, reflecting societal values and challenges, whether it be the struggles of industrialisation, the aftermath of war or the pitfalls of modern technology. As we celebrate the enduring legacy of A Christmas Carol, I invite you to subscribe to this podcast and stay tuned for more cinematic journeys, reviews and reflections. So, as the snowflakes fall and festive lights twinkle, may the spirit of Scrooge's redemption warm your hearts and light up the family season. From WN Movie Talk, have a Merry Christmas, and here's to the timeless magic of A Christmas Carol. Cheers!